Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the Ride or Die book tag. I saw Hilary from Melted Books do this a while ago and thought it was really fun. I will link Hilary's video and the original in the description so you can find it along with the questions. It's just a really fun tag. It's only got 9 questions, so let's give it a go. So as always with my tag videos, I've got the questions on the screen up here because there is absolutely no way I'm going to remember all of them, so that's where I'm looking. So question 1, The BFF, a book that not everyone likes but has been with you since the start. You'll always love them. Does anybody want to guess which book I've chosen for this prompt? It's The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I love this edition as well. It's a really nice cover. This is my favourite book, and I know it's not for everyone. It's literary fiction, it's dystopian fiction, it's set in a world where all of women's rights have been removed and they've been sorted into functions, and we follow Handmaid Offred basically through this world. I have talked about this book before. I've got a whole review for it. I mention it in loads of videos. As you can see, I'm a massive Atwood fan. My book club is currently reading Atwood's backlist. There's something about this book. This was definitely my feminist awakening. I just love it. I know it's not for everyone, but it's definitely my favourite book. Question 2, The Long Drive, a book you take on a journey, or if you'll know you'll be spending a lot of time unable to move. Think plane, train or automobile. Well, right now I would freaking love to be able to take a long journey somewhere, but pandemic. So this is a book I would take on a very long journey because it is huge, and that is A Place of Greater Safety by Hilary Mantel. This was gifted to me by my brother in May when I reached 1,000 subscribers, and he picked it because it's almost 1,000 pages long. He also picked it because he loves her writing and he really enjoyed this book and thinks I'll like it. This I don't know much about. I think it's about the French Revolution, and it's huge, and that is all I know. So if I was stuck on a plane or a train or in an automobile, actually not in a car, I can't read in cars, I get car sick, which is weird because I'm perfectly fine on a train, a coach, a plane, anything like that, but cars, absolutely not. But yeah, this is what I would grab just because it's a brick. So I think it would be a good shout and I'd be unlikely to run out of pages. Also, oh my god, I've just looked at the font. It's tiny. Yeah. Question 3, The Newcomer, the most recent book you've read that you can't stop talking about. So when this video is up, you won't have seen my wrap up yet for August, but a book that I read this month and loved is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha and Gann. I was gifted this from Lauren from She Is Such a Lauren, spit my words out. I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars rather than 5, and you'll find out why in my wrap up when I give a bit more of an in-depth review, but I really liked it, and I have mentioned this to several people and told them to read it. Also, another beautiful cover. I'm a sucker for a beautiful cover. This is set in a world where there are 3 castes. You've got moon, steel and paper. Paper is the lowest caste, and we follow our main character, who is a paper girl, and she is summoned to the palace to be one of the king's concubines, and it basically goes from there. But for me, this was like my perfect amount of fantasy in a book, because it's not like a heavy fantasy, like high fantasy, which I always really struggled to get into. This was like our world, but with little like fantastical bits sprinkled in, which is my favourite kind. There is a really great central relationship in this. I really liked Leigh, who was our protagonist. I can't wait for the second one. And yeah, I'm definitely a fan of this book. Question 4, The Quiet One, the book you reach for when you need some peace and quiet. So I sort of struggled with this because I'm not a mood reader, so I will just pick up whatever is next on my TBR pile. But the kind of thought I had was rereading. So if I'm feeling mentally a bit rubbish or I'm going through a hard time, I will reach for a reread. And the reread that I've got currently on my TBR shelf is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I read this years ago, I think when it first came out, and it's one of those books that over the years I'd sort of forgotten what the twist is, and then Harriet from Harriet Rosie Reads mentioned it, and I thought, oh, I remember reading that book and loving it, but I didn't have a copy anymore, so I put this beautiful paperback edition. I mean, I could do a whole video on beautiful covers. I put this on my wish list, and the lovely Marianne from Copper Books sent this to me, and now it's on my TBR shelf, so I will be reading this shortly. You might even see it in my August wrap up if I get to it. And this is like a family drama with a mystery at the centre of it, and yeah, I'm always up for a reread if I'm feeling a bit rubbish. Number 5. Is that 5? Yes, the outgoing one. The book you love to read in public or don't mind keeping with you for antisocial social occasions. Again, I sort of struggled with this because I will just read anything in public. But another book that I've loved this month that again you'll see in my Was Wrap Up and that I'm talking to everyone about and would happily reread and hide in if I was stuck in some sort of like social gathering, which I won't be at the moment because pandemic. But that book is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I buddy read this month with Charlotte from Books and Bargains and we just had such a good time. And with this cover, I mean, who wouldn't want to be seen out about with a cover this stunning? This video is basically turning into a book cover appreciation video, but it's pretty and the book inside is just as amazing. Question 6, the guilty pleasure, the book you don't want to justify because it would be too embarrassing but you love it nonetheless. I don't do guilty pleasures. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think people should just enjoy what they enjoy and as long as nobody's getting hurt, crack on. So I'm not answering this one because I don't have any guilty pleasures. I just have pleasures. Question 7, The Stranger, the book that no one seems to have heard of and you wish everyone had read it so you could talk about it. So I've got quite a few of these and I'm going to do a video soon, I keep saying soon, hopefully by the end of the year, where I talk about books that I loved before Booktube, because Booktube has definitely taken over in terms of like where I get my book recommendations from and all that kind of stuff. But I had a reading life before Booktube and I want to talk about some of those books. The one I've chosen for this is The Feral Child by Shea Golden. My copy is so old and like sun damaged and it's been moved around a lot. So I've mentioned before that I have a master's degree in creative writing and Shea was on the course with me at the same time. Most of my graduating class are published, apart from me. But that's a story for another time. But this was the book that Shea wrote on the master's degree. She's now published a whole load of middle grade fantasy books. I don't think she gets anywhere near enough hype. I have read most of what she's written and published. This was her first one, and it's about a girl called Maddie, she's stuck at her grandparents' house after her parents have died, and she basically finds her way into a fairy world. But it's not cute fairies, it's fae. And yeah, I love it. Again, this cover is so beautiful. I would really recommend that you check Shea out if you are into middle grade books. She's written loads. And yeah, I wish more people were talking about her. Question 8, the book was better, a book you love but the film adaptation was awful. I don't have an answer for this because, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of films. So leave me a comment below with a book that you love but had a really bad adaptation. I sort of have this weird love of watching bad films, just for the amusement factor. So yeah, leave me a comment with a book that you love that had a bad adaptation, because I actually couldn't think of any. I looked at my shelves and there's quite a few books that I've read that have been adapted, but I've really enjoyed the adaptation. So yeah, drop me a comment and let me know what you think. And then the last question, the author. An author you read everything they'll ever produce. You trust them completely, whether it's hardback series of 15 novels or a shopping list. I love this question. So I could have given several answers because I've got several like auto by authors. Obviously Atwood would have been on that list. CJ Sampson, who wrote the Matthew Shardlake series, Adam Kay, Ruth Ware, all of those. But my official answer for this question is Holly Bourne. This is my favourite of the Holly Bourne books. What's a Girl Gotta Do? I love her Spinster series. I have read almost all of her books. I've only got one left, which is Pretending, which is the book that just came out. And I've only waited for that because Charlotte is coming to see me hopefully in September and she's got a copy for me, so I'm holding off buying that. But I've read all the others, and once I've read Pretending I will do a ranking video. But for me, Holly Bourne, of all the books of hers that I've read, there's only one that I didn't like, which was her debut, which I thought was really bad. But all of the others, I feel like they're so well written. They cover mental health really well. The rep for mental health is always really good. They always appear to be like quite like fluffy books, but they've always got, at the core of them, they've always got a really important message or theme or topic. I just think she's a beautiful writer and I will read anything that she brings out, including her shopping list. And then the last one is the tag, the tubers. Pick 3 YouTubers, tag them and let them know they are ride or die. So I have got so many friends in this community that I could have picked for this. So this was actually quite hard to narrow it down to 3, and actually technically I've got 4. But I have lots of people I chat to, but there are 4 people who I speak to pretty much on a daily basis. The first of those is Charlotte from Books and Bargains. Her and I became friends at the end of last year. We now talk all day, every day. I don't know what I would do without her. She is just such a great person and a great friend. She's one of those people who I can just download my brain to and be like, this is happening, or I'm thinking about this. Sometimes we talk about big things, other times we just chat about what our cats are doing. And yeah, hopefully I will get to meet her at a distance in September, fingers crossed, which would be really cool. And yeah, she's just one of those people who, like, if we lived near each other and there wasn't a pandemic, I feel like we'd hang out all the time. Plus she's got 2 of the cutest cats ever, and I've actually got so many, she sent me so many pictures of her cats that if you look at my camera roll it looks like they're mine, because I have almost as many pictures of them as I do of Jack. But yeah, definitely Charlotte from Books and Bargains. The second person is Simone from Me, Simone and I, who is just a total sweetheart, and again, she's one of those people that I can definitely, if I need something, I can reach out to her and we can have a good chat about it. There's also Leanne from Literary Diversions, who I've only been friends with since March time. I think it was just as the lockdown was happening we started chatting, and again, she's someone I talk to all the time. I can bounce creative ideas off her. We just have general chit chats. I love chatting with her wife, lovely wife Helen, as well. Yeah, she's just one of those people who is there if I need them. And then the fourth person, who I'm not technically tagging because at the moment they aren't posting videos, but it's Nicole from Beautiful Chaos of Books. Again, her and I buddy read fairly regularly, as I do with the other 3 as well. And yeah, she's just one of those people that I can always chat to if I'm in a bit of a tangle, or if I just want a bit of a general chit chat. So that's the tag. Those are the people I'm tagging. So the 3 people I'm tagging, just to be clear, is Charlotte, Simone and Leanne. And Nicole, if you want to do it, then please consider yourself tagged, but no pressure, because I know you're not posting at the moment. Drop me a comment, like I said, with your favourite bad adaptation of a book, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye!